that always manages to thrive. As Brian Coxford reports tonight, a company that got its start in Kelowna decades ago is still expanding.
It's the monthly get-together for employees at a business that has established a huge footprint around the world. And they aren't thinking much about the troubled economy or a possible recession here. In fact, the employees at the world headquarters of this Richmond-based company look upon it as a business opportunity.
There's lots of people trying to calm the world down right now. And it is a cycle, and nothing lasts forever, nor up or down. So it'll turn at one point, and we'll be there to help clients on the way up, and today helping clients on the way down.
Okay, here you go. We're going to get 200,000.
At its industrial auctions at 37 sites in 27 countries, Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers have established their brand. Celebrating its 50th anniversary, this BC company has a consistent track record, always profiting, always expanding, and never losing ground.
We're the largest player in the globe, really, larger than 50 competitors combined in the space that we run in.
In Prince George last week, in the midst of a forestry downturn, Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers sold $11 million in heavy equipment to customers in 12 countries, some of them online. Sales occurring on average every 45 seconds. In almost every case, someone's misfortune was another's gain. The BC company advertises its auctions on a weekly basis around the world. Recently in Orlando, at the world's largest auction, equipment stretched as far as the eye could see.
Last year, about $190 million worth of equipment sold in 5 days in the Orlando market. And it goes from all over the world to all over the world.
It all started with humble beginnings 50 years ago, and we have it buy, sell, and trade in Kelowna. Three brothers, Ken, Dave, and John Ritchie, who one day held an auction, largely household furniture, to pay back a loan. It was so successful they expanded to heavy equipment and auctions in other parts of Canada.
And in the 70s, we started to expand a little bit into Eastern Canada, a little bit in the United States, and then much more still centralized in the Western Canadian marketplace.
But not for long. The dots on the screen show Ritchie Brothers expanding into the U.S. in the recession years of the early 80s, their business growing rapidly in troubled times.
The British fleet off the Falklands is on red alert status and only awaiting...
Opportunity also struck with the Falklands Island War. After it was over, Ritchie Brothers was called in by the British government to sell all the heavy equipment. It was sold on the Liverpool dock. That opportunity allowed the recession-proof company to expand into Britain, into Europe, Asia, and the Middle East.
In terms of the last couple of weeks, it's been an interesting ride. For sure, and it creates volatility in the market. So volatility in general means people need to do something tomorrow that they didn't realize they had to do yesterday, and that creates a transaction. And for us, we're in the middle of the transaction, so that's a good thing. We have to make sure that we're adding value again on the way through.
50 years of growth, 50 years in the black. Sales last year were over $3 billion, $3.6 billion this year. In 10 years, an estimated $10 billion. Profits this year for the first 6 months over $62 million. Ritchie Brothers is one of those unique companies from BC that grows business in good times and gets even larger when times are bad.
Tony, you could talk that fast.
I've
Make
been
a lot
known
of
to.
money.
Only on election nights.
Okay.
Thank you, Deb.